Today marks 1612 day of the lessons, daily reflections. And today I want to reflect on curses and blessings. It's an interesting thing that sometimes we believe that something or someone is a blessing in our lives, but it's actually a curse. And it's interesting, I was thinking as well, besides this topic, that sometimes you believe that someone is blessing in your life, but it might be that you are blessing in their life. And maybe you just don't know your worth yet. But I will not speak about this topic. Today we'll focus on really when you believe that something is a blessing. It could be even someone, but it's actually a curse. I will share 7 reflections that we can make about this topic, and I will share at the end the simple truth that how to measure is it a blessing or is it a curse. Number 1 is that intensity is not a sign of something good. It's a sign of activation, of something acting on you. What it means is that when you really feel intense emotions, that does necessarily mean that something is good with it. That's probably easiest is about someone. It can be extremely activated by the person, but it could be that it's a curse because there's no alignment whatsoever. It's just emotional connection, but there's no mutual value connection. There's moral connection. No nothing in there. It could be even pursuing some kind of careers that is activating you but is not helping you. And I think that it's really need to understand that if calm feels boring to you, and if you not choose boring never and ever, what it means that maybe something wrong because boring is good. Boring is in some areas of life is necessary to have stability, necessary to really live a beautiful life. Because sometimes when even guilty of myself, when your emotional stability is not there and you have used your life in a house in disharmony, in conflict, even boring feels uncomfortable. That's why when we really develop ourselves, our nervous system is in great shape. Boring becomes something that you excited about. And that's a great thing. Number 2, you keep focusing on the highs and ignore lows. Sometimes even justify the lows. And you're working 99% time of your day to achieve one great emotion, one high. How about all the 99% of the time? And I learned as well that life is built on things that you do daily. And if you don't like your life 99% of the time and you're just really waiting for that 1%, what life is it? I think it's possible to build a life where you enjoy 70, 80, 90% of the time from the small things. And that's how we build ground up when we really develop the things on a daily basis that we really don't justify the lows because we have balanced and harmony life. And when I say balance, I say harmony when we really achieve great things, when we really pursue great things, even though that your life could be out of balance, but you are not going up and down, and you're always really seeking those highs and lows. And I think that this is going to need to experience to really understand what it truly means. Number 3, you are slowly losing yourself, but calling it growth. You can, as when you are in an environment, it could be with someone, and it could be in surroundings, in work, with with business partners. It might be that you actually not growing, but adapting, tolerating, bending. And sometimes we need to ask ourselves, am I bending myself? Because sometimes we can really start tolerating things that we never tolerated before, adjust, start tolerating things that we never tolerated before, and call it growth. And we ask ourselves, is it actually growth? And this again, belief certificate. This environment is my blessing. Is it? Maybe that you start to tolerate things that you never tolerate, never thought you would tolerate because your values were certain things, but now you believe that this is a blessing. and you really shifted your values a little bit. And I think that you didn't shift the values, but you because you shut off, and at some point you know deep down inside you that something is off, and that's the curse. Number four, you're stuck in a loop, not progression. And what it means is that sometimes you could be in an environment, especially with another person, the same problems, the same conversations, the same discussions, the same feelings. Everything is the same. We're just going from loop after loop after loop, just a little bit differently. Cycles are the same. Sometimes it takes cycle to really go around maybe a month, sometimes a couple months. But when you really look into that environment, that person, that person goes in cycles. It's very, very, very. It might be even very, very good, and then very bad, very good, very bad, very good, very bad, because they have the same conversations and nothing changes. And sometimes we can stay in that because we thought that this is a blessing, this is a person is a blessing, this is an environment is a blessing, this is an opportunity is a blessing. We allow to go through those loops rather than saying that this is not good, because if it's always the same thing coming back, that's not growth. Number five, your intuition already knows. You are just negotiating with it. As I said, that deep down you know that something is off, and sometimes when you really believe that this is your blessing, this opportunity was a blessing, this person was a blessing, it's very hard to accept that was a curse, not a blessing. That means you need to make 180-degree view change. And sometimes it's not easy. Ego needs to die. Say, I was wrong. I made mistake. I used to think this way, but now I don't think that anyway. And accept. Because now when you finally accept what it means that you will need to change the way how you do things. And that again, uncomfortable. Sometimes, probably I've heard it, sometimes known terrible thing is better than unknown thing. And again, we stay with the imagined blessing that is actually curse. Number six, you are more anxious than peaceful. The more I learn that life is supposed to be about peace, but I mean peace that you can go through biggest storm and biggest hours through your life, but still have peace in your life. But one thing is that when you actually in a curse, not the blessing, at that moment you will never have peace. And I think that when we look into ourselves, which areas, whatever you do, you never have peace. And again, sometimes we can ask ourselves, is that the place where I thought it is my blessing, my opportunity, my person, my work? Because it might be that the thing that you thought about yourself might be wrong. And sometimes we'll need to accept it. Because that brings anxiety, not peace. And last one, you attached to potential, not reality. Guilty 100%. We're thinking about opportunity, we're thinking about potential, we're thinking about a person that is with us, we think about potential. But we need to marry reality, not potential. Because I know that if you will marry potential, will never be living a life of peace, of joy, of significance. Because you constantly think about changing and you're not okay about current situation, about current opportunity. So the most important part is making sure that we live and enjoy reality and improve that reality, evolve, transform that reality, but not really marry potential, because potential could potentially stay all life potential. So the last thing that I want to mention is that really how to know that it's a blessing or a curse. Number one thing is that it makes you stronger and more yourself. That's a blessing. So that means if it makes you stronger and more of yourself, it grows you, develops you, and it allows you to use your authenticity. That's a blessing. And second, if it makes you dependent and less yourself, dependent or less yourself, that's the curse. And that's an easy answer. If it makes you more dependent, shy away from your values, shy away from your morals, and lose authenticity and lose yourself. That is our curse. Because I know that even blessings, even curses could be covered as a blessing. I need to open it and say, like, that's what it is. And so this we need to accept that and move on, because I know that sometimes it's not easy, but it's necessary to do to move forward in life. So I hope you just tune in and see you tomorrow.